Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message, it was forwarded to me by one of our admins. If you have any story that you want to share with us, it doesn't matter how painful the story is, please do not hesitate to contact us via our email address. The message reads like this. Hello, my brother. I have a confession to make, and I want to confess that I once contacted a witch doctor. This witch doctor that I was making contact with, he was from Zim, but I was afraid to travel all the way from South Africa going to Zim because I didn't have anyone to travel with me. This witch doctor, he said that he was coming from a village which was somewhere in Chipinge or so. I was given his contact by one of my mates. This was soon after I had found out that my mom and my husband, they had betrayed me. So I had chosen to have them killed, but I didn't want to hire a killer. I just wanted to use some juju instead. After communicating with that witch doctor, I felt so scared. The reason why I felt so scared, it was because one night I suddenly woke up in the middle of the night and I saw that in my bedroom there was a very big rat that was on the dressing table. And in our area, rats are not common because I am staying in a neighborhood which is not like in the locations. Before I went to bed, I had seen an SMS. It was from a Zim number, and it was that witch doctor who had sent it to me. He said, "Did you see that rat?" So I had responded that SMS and I said, "No, I didn't see anything." That is when I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw that in my bedroom there was a very big rat. So I was really scared. He said that the rat, he had sent the rat to me, and that rat was supposed to guide me back to Zim. He said when I'll be driving to Zim, that rat will be in front of me until I had reached his village, which was in Chipinge or something like that. I then told him that I could not even come to Zim even though I had already sorted out my traveling documents. He was angry when I told him that I could no longer travel to Zim. He said that because of me, he had lost so many customers when he was trying to assist me. He was really shouting at me over the phone. He was angry at me. He then told me that I had to pay him for the lost time. So I asked him how much was I supposed to pay him. He told me that for his rat to return back home empty-handed, it will cost me somewhere around 30,000 rands, and this was in 2014. It was a lot of money. Anyway, I had to pay it, but there was no way for me to send it to him. He then suggested that I should use those buses that go to Zim. He told me that when I will be there, I should not act as if I am a South African. I was supposed to pretend as if I was a Ndebele speaking woman so that the drivers cannot suspect anything. I went there and he said that I should not let the bus drivers know that in the groceries that I was going to send to him, there was money that was hidden inside. So I packed as much as I could. Then I drove to that area in Joburg where there are those Zim buses that go to Zim, and I asked for the certain bus that he had told me that I was supposed to send the groceries using that bus, and that bus, it was going to Harare. He said that he was going to collect the groceries once the bus had reached its destination in Harare. So I went to that place in Joburg and I said that I wanted to send some groceries. I tried to pretend as much as I could as if I was a Ndebele speaking woman so that they cannot suspect that I was just a South African woman. When I reached that place, I told them that I wanted to send some groceries. I had bought some 12.5 of flour and bags of rice. So he said that I should separate the money, and I had already hidden the money in those bags of flour and in the bags of rice. And when I had arrived at the bus station, they told me that I was supposed to buy a very big Changani bag. so that they can load. After I had gone to buy the big Changani bag, they came, then they packed everything, then they loaded those bags into the bus. After that man had confirmed that indeed the money had reached him in Zim, he told me that he was now with this rat and his rat will never bother me again, and he said that I should never waste his time again. After I had spoken with him on the phone, I don't know what happened to me, Brother Nashi, but suddenly I just collapsed. When I woke up, I was admitted into the hospital and they told me that I was supposed to manage my stress levels, otherwise I would suffer from a stroke. But the reason why I was so stressed like this, it was because of the things that I had discovered that was going on between my husband and my mom. When I had met my husband, he was just a nobody. Not that I am trying to belittle him, but he was a nobody, brother. When I met him, when he came here to South Africa, he didn't even have anything. And at that time, when I met him, I was still in college. At that time, even my friends, they used to laugh at me like, what's the purpose of dating a broke foreign guy? But my heart had chosen him and I was hopeless in love. The guy was really a good mechanic, but because he didn't have any papers, he could not get a job anyway. But I sacrificed my college money so that me and him, we can start a very small garage. So we did. I suffered so much with this guy. Sometimes you will be called to fix those big JCB machines. When we started our garage, we didn't have a car. Then sometimes we will be called to far places. Me and him, we used to go on the taxi. Then me and him, we used to go on the taxi so that we can reach that place where we would have gotten the job. Sometimes we would even sleep inside those JCB machines. I was just sacrificing so that me and him can have a better life. And not even a single day did I ever thought of cheating on him. Me and him, we trusted each other. What we used to do is that we were using my bank accounts so that we can save our money. Then we purchased our car. The first car that we purchased, it was not a brand new car. It was just an old car. Then he started to fix that car. But our first car, it was also in my name because he had no papers. So I was the one who used to drive him around. But we loved each other. I sacrificed so much until money started flowing in. Within a short period of time, I found out that I could now qualify for bank loans since we had started a company. But I didn't dump him when the money started flowing in because I thought that indeed he was my soulmate. We made so much that even after we had gotten separated, he left the other business in my name because we had so many investments. When he went to sort his papers, him coming back, I didn't know that he had already started sleeping with my mom. How would I have ever known that my husband was sleeping with my mom? I only found out when I pressured him for us to legally getting married, because this was the only way for him to be legal in the country. Me and him, we were supposed to get married. The only thing that was stopping me and my husband to be legally married, it was my mom. She kept on saying that I must first look for your father. But whenever I would go to her so that I would ask about my father, she would not give me any answers at all. So without my mother's approval, we could not get married, because she said you two can't be married before he pays your bride price. So this was from 2015 up until 2017 when we were stuck, just staying together but not married. But sometimes God even tries to show you some things, but you just choose to ignore. I once saw a passport which was inside my mom's handbag. And when I asked my mom why she had gone to take a passport, she was so defensive that she started crying that I was abusing her. Yet she had raised me as a single mom. But how was I supposed to know that even my own mom, she was already in the process of betraying me? She was already making some trips going to Zim playing makoti to my husband's family. When she was there, when she was there in Zim, she nearly got me killed, because when she was there, she kept on gossiping about me, because most of the investments, they were in my name, simply because my husband, his papers were not yet okay. So we used to put all of the investments into my name, even though in some of the companies, my husband was the director and I was the main director. So she told my husband's relatives that I was a gold digger, but she chose to forget all the times that I used to even hide my husband in the boot of the car, like when we were on the road and we would find out that in the toll gates ahead, there will be a police roadblock. So what we used to do is that my husband will get into the boot of the car. After we had passed the roadblock, that is when I would stop the car so that my ex-husband can get out of the boot of the car. If I think of all the sacrifices that I did for my husband, sometimes I just start to cry. But now no one even takes the time just to say thank you. The most painful thing is that as for my husband's family, they all think that I am a gold digger. This is the picture that was painted by my mother when she went to Zim to play the makoti. One day when me and my husband had a fight, because for a very long time I noticed something about his sperm. His sperm was no longer strong like before, and immediately I knew that this meant that he was now sleeping with someone else. But for the woman to turn out to be my mom, that I never thought. I suspected that maybe he was cheating on me, and I was ready to fix him since everything was in my name. As we were busy fighting, I told him that he had to forget about ever getting papers here in South Africa, but I never meant what I said. I said it because I was just angry. I wanted him to tell me the truth, but he just laughed at me. I was confused when he started laughing at me, because I knew that most of our wealth was in my name. So why was he suddenly laughing at me? Yet his life was dependent on me. He packed his bags and he left me speechless. When he left, I kept on hoping that he will come back home, because I knew that he needed me. But after a couple of weeks, when I saw that he was not making any transactions on some bank accounts that I had opened for him, and some of the bank accounts that were like our company accounts, for him to withdraw money from those accounts, I was supposed to sign off since I was the director of most of our companies. It surprised me that for a couple of weeks he never made any transactions. How could I ever known that my husband and my mom, they had already opened their own company, and my mom had already opened some bank accounts for him. So now all of the new customers that he was getting, they were just using my mom's details. After a couple of weeks, that's when I heard that him and my mother, they had opened another panel beating shop. Even now, they are still running that shop. I was so hurt, but I never knew what was waiting for me. This was just like the beginning. One day, because of stress, I just went to check to whom my mom was married to, because I kept on thinking why my husband had suddenly turned his back on me, when I knew that for him to do any financial transaction, I was supposed to be there. Without me in this country, it was nothing. But how was he surviving? How was he getting his customers? When I went to check to whom my mom was married, when I was told whom my mom was legally married to, I nearly collapsed to hear that my mom was legally married to my ex-husband. When I walked out of there, I even forgot where I had parked the car. I felt so dizzy. My world came crashing down on me. My uncle was the one who went to collect the car that I had left in town. You know what my uncle's son said to me when I went to my uncle's place? He said, "Why do you want the bird to fly away? Are you not happy that he left you with all the houses that you have?" That is how I found myself in depression. The whole family turned its back against me. My mom and my husband recently celebrated their first truck. I saw this on my uncle's status. Can you believe it that I had to know about this when my uncle uploaded my mom and my ex-husband on his status as they were celebrating that they had purchased their first truck. I heard that my husband's brother will be the one who will be driving that truck. I am just heartbroken. When he left me, I told myself that it was his financial loss. I didn't know that my family had conspired against me, but the way that he betrayed me, he crushed me right to the place where my body and my soul meets. And my mom, she is not even ashamed. Sometimes she even come to pick my son so that he can see his father. But my ex-husband, he has been avoiding me. I don't know for how many years. There was this other friend of mine who said that I should get him killed for everything, for the pain that he caused me. But I will never try to do that because I know that he is protected by my uncles. As for my uncles, I am so scared of them. That is why I had initially thought of that witch doctor, but I ended up being scared to go and see him. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was forwarded to me by one of our admins. Quite a sad story, quite a sad story. If you have any story, no matter how painful it will be, please do not hesitate to contact us via our email address. I'll be back with another episode.